that he is up big and that Democrats are trying to, quote, steal the election. Of course, we need to be clear that there are just a number of ballots that haven't been counted in some very key states. Many of those are vote-by-mail ballots that are already in hand in the states. In other states, there are ballots that may still be working their way through the Postal Service and could arrive as late as Friday, but are postmarked in time. So President Trump is expected to come out and make a case that he is winning. Earlier tonight, former Vice President Joe Biden came out and said that he felt very good, but that people needed to be patient. President Trump has expressed a lot of impatience about the voting of the counting of ballots. I'll also say that Kayleigh McEnany, the White House press secretary, has tweeted out a bunch of preliminary numbers from key states, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, saying that President Trump is winning. But the thing is, until all the ballots are counted, you don't know who's winning.
Do you have any idea where those numbers are coming from, Tim?
Well, I mean, there are ballots that are in. There are many ballots that are in. It's just that
they're preliminary.
It's preliminary, and there's a big cache of other ballots that haven't been counted yet.
I'm hearing applause here. I think the president is about to take the stage at the White House, if I'm not mistaken.
And we should say that this is in the East Room. There is no social distance in this room, and I don't see a single mask on that video screen at the time.
Several Trump family members walking on stage with his children.
President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
This is without question the latest news conference I've ever had. I appreciate it very much. And I want to thank the American people for their tremendous support. Millions and millions of people voted for us today. And a very sad group of people is trying to disenfranchise that group of people. And we won't stand for it. I want to thank the First Lady, my entire family, Vice President Pence, Mrs. Pence, for being with us, all the freedoms. And we were getting ready for a big celebration. We were winning everything, and all of a sudden it was just called off. The results tonight have been phenomenal, and we are getting ready. I mean, literally, we were just all set to get outside and just celebrate something that was so beautiful, so good. Such a vote, such a success. The citizens of this country have come out in record numbers. This is a record. There's never been anything like it. To support our incredible movement, we won states that we weren't expected to win. Florida, we didn't win it. We won it by a lot. We won the great state of Ohio. We won Texas. We won Texas by 700,000 votes, and they don't even include it in the tabulations. It's also clear that we have won Georgia. We're up by 2.5% or 117,000 votes with only 7% left. They're never going to catch us. They can't catch us. Likewise, we've clearly won North Carolina, where we're up 1.4%. or 77,000 votes with only approximately 5% left. They can't catch us. We also, if you look and you see, Arizona, we have a lot of life in that. And somebody declared that it was a victory for, and maybe it will be. I mean, that's possible. But certainly there were a lot of votes out there that we could get, because we're now just coming into what they call Trump territory. I don't know what you call it, but these were friendly Trump voters, and that could be overturned. The gentleman that called it, I watched tonight, he said, well, we think it's fairly unlikely that he could catch. Well, fairly unlikely, and we don't even need it. We don't need that. That was just a state that if we would have gotten it, it would have been nice, Arizona. But there's a possibility, maybe even a good possibility. In fact, since I saw that originally, it's been changed, and the numbers have substantially come down just in a small amount of votes. So we want that obviously to stay in play. But most importantly, we're winning Pennsylvania by a tremendous amount of votes. We're up 600, think of this. We're up 690,000 votes in Pennsylvania, 690,000. These aren't even close. It's not like, oh, it's close. With 64% of the vote in, it's going to be almost impossible to catch. And we're coming into good Pennsylvania areas where they happen to like your president. I mean, so we'll probably expand that. We're winning Michigan. I'll tell you, I looked at the numbers. I said, whoa. I said, wow, that's a lot. By almost 300,000 votes, and 65% of the vote is in it. And we're winning Wisconsin, so we're winning. We don't need all of them. We need, because when you add Texas in, which wasn't added, I spoke with the really wonderful governor of Texas just a little while ago, and Greg Abbott, he said, congratulations. He called me to congratulate me on winning Texas. I mean, we won Texas. I don't think they finished quite the tabulation, but there's no way. And it was almost complete, but he congratulated me. And he said, by the way, what's going on? I've never seen anything like this. Can I tell you what? Nobody has. So we won by 107,000 votes with 81% of the vote. It's Michigan. So when you take those three states in particular, and you take all of the others, I mean, we have so many, we had such a big night. You just take a look at all of these states that we've won tonight, and then you take a look at the kind of margins that we've won them by. And all of a sudden, it's not like we're up 12 votes and we have 60% left. We won states, and all of a sudden, I said, what happened to the election? It's off. And we have all these announcers saying, what happened? And then they said, oh, because you know what happened? They knew they couldn't win. So they said, let's go to court. And did I predict this, Newt? Did I say this? I've been saying this from the day I heard they were going to send out tens of millions of ballots. I said exactly, because either they were going to win, or if they didn't win, they'll take us to court. So Florida was a tremendous victory, 377,000. Texas, as we said.
All right, we want to just do some fact-checking right now. The president is saying that he is winning certain states. We are not, I repeat, we are not at 270 electoral votes. The Associated Press has not called several of the states that President Trump is claiming pending victory in, states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. Again, I repeat, we are not at 270 electoral votes. The president cannot declare victory at this moment.
With almost nothing left. And all of a sudden, everything just stopped. This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election. So our goal now is to ensure the integrity for the good of this nation. This is a very big moment. This is a major fraud in our nation. We want the law to be used in a proper manner. So we'll be going to the U.S. Supreme Court. We want all voting to stop. We don't want them to find any ballots at 4 o'clock in the morning and add them to the list. Okay? It's a very sad moment. To me, this is a very sad moment, and we will win this. And as far as I'm concerned, we already have won. So I just want to thank you, and I want to thank all of our support. I want to thank all of the people that worked with us, and Mr. Vice President, say a few words, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to join you.
President Trump has stated falsely, he has stated that he wants all voting to stop. It's important to note that voting has stopped. Votes are still being counted, but all the polls have closed nationwide. We're going to go back to Vice President Pence here for a moment.
To be counted, we're going to remain vigilant, as the President said. The right to vote has been at the center of our democracy since the founding of this nation. We're going to protect the integrity of the vote. But I really believe with all of my heart, with the extraordinary margins, Mr. President, that you've inspired in the states that you just described, and the way that you launched this movement across the country to make America great again, I truly do believe, as you do, that we are on the road to victory and we will make America great again. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, President Trump and Vice President Mike Pence, we have just heard several misstatements from President Trump about where the vote counts have gone. I want to bring in NPR's Ron Elving right now. Ron, let's just do a reset here. We heard President Trump basically declaring victories, talking about battleground states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, as heading his way in terms of victory. Can you just reset all of this for us? Remind this country that voting has stopped and that vote counting will not stop, despite what he has said.
Yes. First of all, voting has stopped. No one is suggesting that anyone should be allowed to vote after tonight. Number two, the process that is still working its way through is a process we have seen in every presidential election for as long as any of us has been alive, and that is that votes are counted after election night that arrived in time and that are legal ballots. And so those votes are going to be counted. Now, this year, because of the pandemic, that number of votes is extraordinary. It's not a few thousand, it's not a few tens of thousands, it's approximately 100 million votes. Now, many of those have been counted, many of them have not, and under state laws, some of them could not be counted until today, and that's why they haven't all been counted. So those are all facts. In addition, the president did not mention that he is not ahead in the Electoral College vote at the moment, and that he is not ahead in the popular vote. Now, if the proper wave that he would like to see all those states fall should happen, he could still win the Electoral College. He probably has no path whatsoever to winning the popular vote. But we know the popular vote is something of a nicety. The Electoral College actually elects the president. So he does have a path in the Electoral College if he can win all those states he talked about tonight. But you know, he hasn't won Arizona. He hasn't won, in fact, Georgia. He hasn't had North Carolina called for him by the AP. And those three Great Lakes states that we've all talked about so much have also not been called, and they have many hundreds of thousands of outstanding votes, which we will see over the next day, 2 or 3 days.
Right. Let's just repeat that to be totally clear. There has to be 270 electoral votes for someone to be declared the next president of the United States. A number of key battleground states have not been called, including, by the Associated Press, including Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. So there is absolutely zero basis for the president to be declaring at this time tonight that he is in any way a victor.
except, of course, that the president believes that he should maximize his position with the general public by declaring his victory and suggesting that anything that happens after this is less than legitimate. But that's just not the numbers, not the fact, and not the law.
I have to say, I'm a little bit taken aback because we had been hearing a number of his associates saying that the president would only come out to declare victory if victory were totally clear, if there was some basis. But we have seen him not do that tonight. He has indeed declared victory while not having remotely adequate basis to do so. We're going to take a short break right now. We will be right back. This is live special coverage of the 2020 election from NPR News.